911.
Cardiac arrest.
25-0.
We have a working fire.
Hold traffic, shots fired.
And interestingly enough, it seems like his paramedic course, like a lot of modern civilian paramedicine, is far more intense than Army or Navy medicine, whether it's the corpsmen or the medics. And part of that, would you say, is that, and you talked a little bit about this with the history of the transition from emergency medicine being adopted by certain military models and influenced in its development there, that a lot of the military medicine deals with young 20, 30-year-old healthy combat fighters, which has very little to deal with a lot of medical problems. Mostly it's trauma. So a lot of what he's developing, what Peter's developing, is actual like physician-based training. It's not like they just took the Army or Navy medic program and made it for civilians. There's this entire aspect of medicine that they had to teach people that didn't even have the basic level of what an Army medic would have had.
Oh yeah, it's far from a civilian analog to the military model. You talk to guys who do that. As you said, they'll be the first to tell you, as they've told me, and I'm sure they've probably told you, man, I can work on a healthy, insanely in shape 24-year-old whose problem is trauma. But if you give me a 58-year-old obese man with CHF, I will not know what to do. I won't be able to hit his veins. I won't know how to treat him. I won't know how to, listen to the lung sounds. It's just not what I've ever what I've ever done. So that's not really what he's, obviously part of the white paper is explaining that, hey, like these traumatic deaths are so frequent that they're becoming, the sort of epidemic in America, but that's really not the only goal. This is a broad spectrum thing, like Belfast had a program prior to Freedom House, but that was, a cardiology program. There are here and there's, very sort of pinpoint things where someone said, hey, we can fix this problem. It's usually trauma or cardiology. And he's the first one to say, well, what about OB? What about asthmatics? What about a diabetic? What about an overdose? What about all these other things that happen in the world? Somebody should be there to trained and equipped to deal with all those things.
Yeah,
which of course, it's an ER physician. Yeah. And that's, a toned down version of what an ER doctor does. I've always been blown away by people in the ER, the things those doctors know, like how wide their range of knowledge is. It's stunning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted, like, how do I take that and tailor it to a new type of professional that's going to spend 15 to 20 minutes, maybe an hour with this person, but that's going to be a critical 15 to 20 minutes. And that's what he does. He needs people, but he's got this whole plan. And then of course, the people is where Freedom House comes into this whole thing. That's how that's really where it takes this, sort of uniquely American and very intriguing hard left turn.
This is your host, Christopher. If you like today's episode, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, click the bell for notifications on future content. If you haven't already, check out our website, theufcshow.com, ways that you can support us and find us on other platforms. Until next time.